Hey everybody, it's Jen on Leo and Lou, coming back to you for another round of oils A to Z. We did Arbor Vitae through Clove last Monday, so that video is up on the page as well as on YouTube. And today we're going to go Copaiba through Lavender. So a bunch of different, I think I've got 14 oils total to talk to y'all about today. I always like to start off with a little disclaimer that I'm not a medical professional. I am just an essential oils wellness advocate who likes having these as a natural solution for me and my family. The things I'm going to tell you are based on some research that I've done and then my own personal usage, but I'm not trying to prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. And if you're having anything serious going on, please consult your physician. These oils are not meant to be an either or one-stop shop. It's supposed to be a resource that you can turn to keep yourself well. And if you're having any serious issues, you should definitely talk to your physician and let them know what oils and other natural remedies you're using too, because the more we start promoting that we are in charge of our health and these are the solutions that we're turning to, Western medicine's going to have to keep up. So be the change. Okay, we're going to get started with an oil that's had a lot of buzz around it recently, Copaiba. Copaiba is actually, the essential oil of Copaiba is taken from several different Copaiba trees. They grow indigenously in South America. And so it's not just from one Copaiba tree. The most sustainable way to do it is to get it from several different types of Copaiba trees. But the main chemical constituent of Copaiba is beta-caryophyllene, or BCP. And why BCP is such a buzzword right now is because it is a non-psychoactive endocannabinoid. You probably understood the last part of that. Cannabinoids, cannabis. A lot of people are turning to medical marijuana or cannabis to treat a variety of health issues because the THC, I don't know the full name for it, and the CBD found in the cannabis plant are very helpful to several of the body systems. However, cannabis is a psychoactive drug because of the THC in it. So it's still illegal in a bunch of states, and doTERRA's not going to come close to that. However, Copaiba and the Copaiba tree is a wonderful option. Pardon the growling. We're watching, Flynn's watching Brave. So we're in the Scottish Highlands with some bears this morning. But BCP, beta-caryophyllene, what it does is it binds to your CB1 and your CB2 receptors in your brain, which is what THC and CBD does also. And it activates your endocannabinoid system. So your CB2 receptors are powerful at treating inflammation, pain, and then several other like bone conditions. Beta-caryophyllene can bind to those really strongly, just like CBD can. And when it's doing that, it promotes a healthy metabolism because it increases your mitochondrial function, which is neurology, but that's what it does. It protects against neurodegeneration because of the way that it activates in your brain. So it keeps your brain healthy. It reduces a leaky blood-brain barrier. And it reduces pain because it regulates your natural endorphins. So when you're having an acute feeling of pain, your body naturally releases endorphins so you feel better. So what the Copaiba does is it tells your body, make more of those right now because we're in pain. So it helps your body naturally do what it needs to do. It supports your cardiovascular, your digestive, your immune, your nervous, your respiratory, and your skin systems. So it does all of those. And emotionally, it's the oil of unveiling. Helps you become aware of the shadow aspect of yourself. See who you really are, and also forgive yourself and make peace with the past. Copaiba is one of my top 3 oils. The other 2 would be frankincense and lavender. I take this every day for all of those benefits. I really like it, again, for treating pain. You'll know I have some lower back issues, and also because it's a resinous oil, it comes from a tree bark. It is really grounding and helpful for anxious feelings. Copaiba is one of the only tree oils that you can take. Well, all of the resins are safe to take internally, but generally if you're looking at a tree oil, you probably aren't going to take that inside your body. So that's Copaiba. We're going to get moving. I had a lot to say about Copaiba. Next is Coriander, which I don't actually have. It's one of the ones on my wish list. I've got two to talk about today that I don't have a bottle to show y'all, but that's all right. Coriander is actually a relative of the parsley family, and its Latin name is Coriandrum sativum. So since we just kind of talked about cannabis a little bit, the word sativum is something that you hear a lot attached to cannabis, and basically it just means cultivated. But I didn't go far enough into the research to determine if there were any other like correlations between the coriander plant and cannabis sativa. I'm not sure yet. If y'all know, let me know. And what coriander is, it is cilantro seeds. So it's the seeds of the cilantro plant. So if you have cilantro essential oil, which we talked about last week, which I do, it's very similar. However, the seeds being part of the flower and then, you know, the berry are a lot more potent, and they're going to give you that antioxidant benefit. And this, sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought. Where was I? Talking about the coriander seeds. Anyway, we'll just go back to the next talking point, which is that coriander is very high in linalool alcohols. If you've watched any of my other classes before, linalool is one of the main chemical components of lavender, and anytime you hear linalool, you know that that means it's super relaxing, and it's also really good for the skin. That's what linalool does. Coriander is also anti-inflammatory. It's a sedative also. It affects the digestive, the nervous, and the skin system. So again, the nervous system because it sedates you, and the digestive system, it helps you digest things. Most of those herbs do. It's a gentle stimulant to the cardiac and circulatory and nervous system also. So this would make it a good oil for any kind of feelings of nervousness and sadness at the same time. Let's see. The Modern Essentials book said that coriander should be used sparingly because it can be stupefying in large doses. I guess because it has so much linalool in it. Emotionally, it's the oil of integrity. And I love the quote from Emotions and Essential Oils. Y'all know I refer to this book a lot. What it said about coriander is that integrity with oneself means living in connection with what one's spirit urges and directs. So being true to yourself, really, that's what integrity really is. It helps people trapped in a cycle of serving others and neglecting your own self. So I know a lot of parents out there fall into that. You spend so much time taking care of your littles and you forget to take care of yourself. Using some coriander is an easy way for simple self-care. So keep that in mind. That was coriander. Next is Cypress. We're in the C family right now. This is my last of the C's. Cypress is a coniferous tree, and it is not safe for internal usage. On the doTERRA bottle, if you see a food grade label, which we do not, for example, the Copaiba, there's that food grade label right there. That means it's safe for internal usage. So the Cypress is not. Let's see. The steam is steam distilled from the branches of the cypress tree, and it's a restoring oil because of its esters, alpha-pinene. Piney, that makes sense, doesn't it? It affects the nervous and skin systems. It can help treat hemorrhoids. If you apply it topically to the area, you definitely want to dilute it. It's a little tingly. If you have carpal tunnel syndrome, that's another good oil for that. It's also really helpful for oily skin. It is a lymphatic and prostate decongestant. So it's a mucolytic. It breaks down the enzymes that make mucus. So in your lymph nodes and then in your prostate, this is a really good oil to keep that well drained. That's Cypress. Emotionally, it's the oil of motion and flow. It helps with emotional catharsis. Helps you stay flexible and let go of perfectionism. Hey, Ann, good to see you on here. So I really like Cypress for that. It's a wonderful oil to diffuse. Smells really clean and piney. Helps you keep moving. Keeps that lymphatic system moving. All right, we're through the C's. Now we're moving into the D's. We've just got one D. Douglas fir. Douglas fir comes in a tiny little 5 milliliter bottle. Not safe for internal use because, again, it's a tree oil. This is a conifer, one of the firs, so the steam from the twigs and the needles is how we get the Douglas fir oil. It's an uplifting oil because of its monoterpenes. I love the smell of Douglas fir. It's pineier and almost brighter than what the cypress smells like. Douglas fir is one of the 3 fir oils that doTERRA has right now. White fir, which is, if you have a bottle of that, hang on to it. They've stopped making it. And then Siberian fir is the 3rd. Hey, Darlene, welcome. So Douglas fir is often a common oil that you'll start diffusing around the holiday time because it smells like Christmas and holidays. It affects your respiratory system and your muscles and bones. It's a nerve sedative and tonic, so diffusing this actually helps you feel more relaxed, which we all need around the holiday time. Hey, Darlene. It supports your respiratory functions, and it can help with fever and muscle pain. So it would be a fabulous oil to add in the bath if you were trying to calm down a fever naturally, or having any muscle pain, or if you were having cold symptoms or cold feelings and you were congested. This would be a great oil to add to the bath. The cypress as well, and then into diffuser as well. Oh, emotionally, it's the oil of generational wisdom. So it helps you let go of harmful patterns, and it increases positive family bonds. So again, making it wonderful anytime your extended family is gathering. That's Douglas fir. And that's my only D oil. I've only got one E oil, and that's eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is actually from the myrtle family. Immediately wakes you up. It's a restoring oil because it comes from the myrtles. The steam distillation comes from the leaves of the eucalyptus plant, Eucalyptus radiata, and it affects the respiratory and skin systems. Obviously helps promote clear breathing. It's in the Breathe blend if you have that one by doTERRA. If you are someone who suffers from herpes simplex, cypress, when combined with bergamot, can really help treat that. It also helps problems in the lady bits area, any kind of vaginitis. It helps treat high blood pressure, any kind of acne, endometriosis, and coughing. It is the oil of wellness, appropriately so. Anytime you're feeling any of those cold symptoms or under the weather or your lady bits are off, cypress is a great oil. Eucalyptus is a wonderful oil for you. Eucalyptus is not recommended for internal uses, but it's fabulous to diffuse. You can make a cold compress with it or apply topically. That's eucalyptus. I have 2 F oils. Fennel is the first of them. It took me a while to get fennel. I'm just not a fan of that licorice smell. However, it's a powerful oil. It is energizing. It helps you feel motivated and activated. It's got a bunch of monoterpenes in it, and it's actually a relative of the parsley family, so it's on the sweeter side of that. Fennel supports the digestive and the hormonal systems. Thank you, Flynn. Okay, that's interrupting though. Okay, it's okay. No more interruptions, please. All right, we're working on that. Totally lost it. Okay, there we go. It affects the digestive system. It's one of the main oils in the Digest Zen blend too, which is a great oil to just rub topically along your tummy when you're having a tummy ache. Fennel is safe for internal use. All the herbal oils are. It can also help increase milk production for lactating mamas. It also supports the pancreas and the liver, and it helps cleanse your tissues of toxins. So it's a great detoxing oil. Basically gets things moving, which is why it's helpful for digestion also. Emotionally, it's the oil of responsibility. So it supports people who have a weakened sense of self, one who feels defeated by life's responsibilities. It helps you reestablish your connection to yourself and listen to your body. So fennel is a wonderful oil for so many things. Works on you at the core. That's fennel, if you can deal with the scent. That's why I just take it internally if I need it, or just rub it topically. There's so many ways to use the oils. Frankincense, dun, 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 the king of oils. One of my top three oils. Basically, if you have any health, mood, any kind of issue, get out your frankincense. It will solve 99% of your problems, I promise. It is the king of oils. Historically, one of the gifts that they brought to little baby Jesus, if you follow along with that tradition. This was actually worth more than money way back in the day, the frankincense. And frankincense does come from the boswellia tree, but it is a resin. It smells really earthy, almost metallic. I'm so used to it. I mean, it's not necessarily like a lovely, you love frankincense. Me too. You won't probably find this in any like perfumes, but it does so many things. It helps promote healthy cell function. It eases hyperactivity. It improves your concentration. It eases impatience. It also is a powerful supporter of your immune and your skin systems. It's a restoring oil because of its esters. Totally safe for internal use. The resins are. And emotionally, it is the oil of truth. It reveals false truths and shields you from negative influences, which is why physically it's really powerful at protecting your immune system. When in doubt, get your frankincense out. Everybody should have this in their home. Worth every cent. I use it for treating any kind of boo-boos. I have a little boo-boo blend. I take a drop every day to help support that healthy cellular function. It's grounding. I mean, the list goes on and on. It does everything. Just, you gotta get frankincense, lavender, and copaiba. It's my top three. Hallelujah, yes and. All right, geranium comes next. Geranium is a flower oil, like your geranium flower. And this is a very distinct smell. Sometimes I'm really attracted to it. Sometimes I'm not. Who knows why? I always say use your oils instinctively. Either if you're repelled by it, maybe it's something that you are neglecting emotionally. Like, you know, with the fennel, if you were neglecting responsibility and you were averse to fennel. I've checked myself with that a few times. Maybe that means you really need it, or maybe it means that you should turn to another oil that calls to you a little bit more powerfully. I think you need to listen to your intuition. Oils work on your physical body and your emotional and spiritual body, so pay attention to your instinct. Your instinct is your body's way of guiding you because it can't physically talk. So to get the geranium oil, the steam distillation takes the leaves from the flower, so the petals. It's a clarifying oil because of its alcohols, and what you can smell in here is the citronellol, similar to like the citronella plant, and geraniol, which are two main bug repellents. So this would be a fabulous insect repellent just on its own. You can also blend it with a bunch of other things to naturally repel bugs and insects. It affects the immune system and the skin system as well. All of the flower oils are going to be really good for your skin. Historically, folk tales indicate that it could fight cancer, and it was used a long time ago to treat bone fractures and wounds because it's powerful at supporting the skin system as well. It's also very antibacterial. It's an antidepressant, anti-inflammatory, very highly, and an antiseptic. So that's why it was used a long time ago to treat serious wounds. It improves your blood flow. It can help with kidney stones. It helps your liver naturally detox. It can also help with nerve pain. Basically, any skin conditions that you might have, because it balances sebum, which is, let me make sure I read this right, the fatty secretion of your skin's sebaceous glands, which keeps skin supple. So basically, you don't want to be too oily and producing too much sebum, but you do need some so your skin still looks supple and gorgeous. And geranium is a wonderful balancer for that. It can brighten dull skin also. I know a lot of people are concerned with having those dark spots. Geranium would be a great oil for that. Geranium emotionally is the oil of love and trust. It helps you feel more confident in the goodness of others. So if you're feeling like the bastards are getting you down, geranium is a great oil to help you feel, to help you realize that people really are mostly trying their best. I have 2 more G oils. The next one is ginger. I love this oil. Zingiber officinale. It's actually a soothing oil, and it is a warm oil, so use it with caution if you're going to use it topically. Definitely don't put it in any kind of bath where your sensitive open areas are going to be exposed to it. I use ginger a lot in the colder months because, especially out here in the Pacific Northwest, my feet get really cold, and my acupuncturist uses doTERRA, and she's actually the one that suggested to me to just put a drop on each foot and just rub it into the feet and toes in the morning, and it helps your feet feel warm and wonderful the whole day. It also helps with your digestive and your nervous system, so not only are you physically warming up your body in a natural way, but it's working internally to help you feel more warm on the inside and less nauseated, less nervous. It can also help if you need to have your bowels move. And it's also antiseptic. Historically, in ancient Egypt, in the kitchens of ancient Egypt, it would ward off epidemics. And the Chinese anciently used it as tonics to strengthen the heart and relieve head congestion. If you smell it, you can smell why. You smell that warmth and that spice, and it really does kind of clear you up. Emotionally, it's the oil of empowerment. It helps you be fully present and participate in life. I feel like I need that a lot, especially with a little one and so many to-do things around the house. So ginger is a fabulous oil for that. Safe for internal use. You can cook with it. If you're making gingerbread cookies or anything where you needed a little ginger, you really just need a little drop. You can stick a toothpick down that orifice reducer if you just want a tiny bit, or just a drop at the end of your recipe. Basically, you don't want to add any heat when you're cooking with essential oils. Add the oils at the end. Okay, my last G oil is grapefruit. Grapefruit was not one of the first citrus oils that I got because it is a hybrid. It's Citrus ex paradisi, so basically the way that the grapefruit was made evolved from several different kinds of citrus fruits. Anyway, the oil comes from a cold pressing of the rind, and I have become very, very fond of grapefruit because it's a very gentle citrus smell. It smells pink to me, which I love. Safe for internal use. I mean, it comes from a fruit. It's the oil of honoring the body. And this is something that I've really been working on with myself lately, is being kinder to my physical self and all of its imperfections, and also stopping my tendency to judge other people based on how they look. We grow up in a society that kind of makes it hard not to, so I challenge myself daily to try to see the inside of people first, and grapefruit has been really helping me with that. Y'all know I got a soda stream, so this is one of my favorite oils to add. Once I make my own carbonated water, I just add a drop of grapefruit, and it tastes amazing, even better than LaCroix, if I do say so myself. And it's also really good for your body. It is very helpful for your endocrine system, which are your hormones, your nervous system, and your skin. So it's uplifting to the mood, and you're saying you love grapefruit and diffuse it in the morning. Yes, it helps you start the day right. It's a wonderful way to start your day. That just sunny citrus smell. Yeah, it's a great way to start the day. It's very uplifting to the mood, and it also supports a healthy metabolism. So while you're working on the mental part of honoring your body, the grapefruit oil actually helps curb emotional eating, because if you're in a healthy relationship with your body, you're not stuffing it full of junk just to fill some kind of void. So not only does it not physically help your body say, I'm not really hungry right now, probably. It also helps you just accept yourself and the beauty and healthiness of what you already are. I love grapefruit oil. Limonene is the main chemical component in grapefruit oil, so that means that it's also going to be helpful for the immune system. And, I wanted to say, all of the citrus oils, I think that, yeah, grapefruit's my only one today. All of the citrus oils are photosensitive, so please use caution when you're using them, especially in the sun. I always say stick them where the sun don't shine if you're going to be using them and then going into the sun. They're all safe for internal use, so just take them internally or keep them in your diffuser if you know you're going outside. However, grapefruit is the least photosensitive of all the citrus oils. So if you had to use it for some reason on your skin, you don't have to be as worried, as if you used something like bergamot, which is the highest photosensitive oil. So that's my PSA about photosensitivity. Be careful with those citrus oils. All right, I've got, let's see, 4 more left. Helichrysum is an oil that I got when I first started using oils, and I really didn't use it that much. I got it because it, let's see, it stimulates the pancreas, and it's really helpful for anger management and also kidney support. And I have a family member who needs kidney support and also help with anger management, so I basically got it with the intention of passing it along to that person, and then I didn't really use it that much. However, as I've learned more about it, I'm now on my second bottle because I've used it so often. It's the oil for pain. I really don't even know what it smells like. I can't describe it. Really just earthy. Helichrysum oil does come from the flowers. It is a restoring oil. Compositae is the plant family it belongs to, which again I don't know very much about yet. It affects the cardiovascular system and the muscles and bones, which is why it's the oil for pain. So it's an anticoagulant, antispasmodic. It helps with any bone bruising. It helps with tissue repair. It can also help fight viral infections, and it's an antioxidant and an anticoagulant, so it really does a lot. It is safe for internal usage, and if you're using it beyond treating these physical symptoms, it emotionally can help those who are walking wounded, so people who are recovering from some sort of trauma, emotional or physical. Helichrysum is a fabulous oil for that. It helps you have gratitude for your trials and feel confident in your warrior spirit. So as I work on my self-confidence, this is a fabulous oil to support that, especially if you're dealing with any kind of chronic pain, no matter how big or small the scale, and emotional pain as well. I love Helichrysum. I add it to my pain balm now. So the pain balm, the typical recipe is frankincense, marjoram, and copaiba. I add Helichrysum anytime I'm taking a pain balm now. Okay, Jasmine. I'm going to show you Jasmine in this 10 milliliter roller ball because this is the way that it's available to everyone right now. If you're very fortunate, you might have a little baby bottle of Jasmine, but most people don't. In this 10 milliliter roller bottle, I do not know how many drops of jasmine are in here, but it is diluted with fractionated coconut oil, which makes it super easy to just apply anywhere on the body. Jasmine is a very sweet, small, delicate flower. Reminds me of being in New Orleans and all that Confederate jasmine growing on the sidewalks. You know, I'm not naturally inclined toward the sweet flower smells, so you saw me apply it just on the back of the neck. If you are a person who loves those sweet smells, I know many of y'all are, this is a wonderful perfume, and it doesn't have any toxic additives in it. All that's in this bottle is fractionated coconut oil and jasmine flowers. And doTERRA just posted a video of how many pounds of jasmine flowers it takes to make just a little bit of this, and the harvest process is really fabulous to watch too. Hundreds of women get up before daybreak and they have like a 2-hour window to harvest these flowers when they're at their most potent. So it really is a beautiful process. And One of my favorite things about doTERRA is that all the oils are sourced with what they call co-impact sourcing. It's indigenous sourcing, so the plants grow where nature intended them to, and they're harvested and distilled by small family-owned farms that are then paid very well, often in developing countries. So the Jasmine harvest story, I'll post it in the event if y'all are interested to see. It's really beautiful. Jasmine is actually related to the olive plant, which I think is really cool. And it's wonderful for all things skin. It also affects the hormonal systems and the emotional body. So this is a fabulous oil for PMS support. It also can support you if you're having pink eye. I would just apply it right near the eyes, obviously not in the eye, but near the eye. If you're feeling hoarse, if you have any kind of sensitive skin, any kind of eczema, maybe triggered by stress, lethargy. It is the king of the flowers. It's also known as the queen of the night in India because concubines used to use jasmine. It is the emotional oil of sexual purity and balance, so it can help you release any sexual trauma and arouse dormant passions, both physically and creatively. That's jasmine. Hopefully you took advantage of the BOGO and got your free jasmine touch when you bought the frankincense. That was an awesome BOGO. I was so pumped about that. Okay, my next J oil is Juniper berry, which I am out of right now. It's coming in my LRP. Juniper berry is actually the berry from the Cypress tree, which is a conifer, and the Juniperus communis tree is a cedarwood relative. So we're connecting the dots, right? Since I don't have juniper, I know that I do have cypress and I have cedarwood. So if I was going to do anything where I needed juniper berry, I would combine those two because the plant chemistry is similar. The oil for juniper berry comes from the berries and the needles, and it is not safe for internal use. It is a restoring oil because of its esters, and it affects the skin and the urinary systems. It's a natural skin toner and detoxifier. It helps with healthy kidney and urinary tract function, and since it's not safe to take internally, what I would do would be to dilute it and rub it on the body, right where your kidneys and your urinary tract way in there are. Also along the spine, the spine is like the great railroad track of your body, so put it on the train back there. That's a great place to put your oils topically. Juniper can also heal wounds, and it's very spiritually and esoterically protective, especially from theft. When we first moved to the Pacific Northwest and started burning wood in our fireplace, juniper was the wood that we got. It is a beautiful wood. It's kind of pinkish and whitish on the inside, and historically people used to burn that to ward off thieves. Who knew? Emotionally, it's the oil of night, and this is why I love diffusing it at night a lot. It helps you feel courageous and protected at night, so any kind of fears of the dark, if your kids are dealing with that, night terrors, juniper berry would be a great oil to add to the diffuser. It also does help you dream more viscerally, I guess, because it helps when we're dreaming, it's our body kind of like working through a bunch of stuff and sifting through garbage. It helps improve those nighttime communications that you may be having with, some spirits or people that you've lost, or anything that needs to be teaching you, basically. It helps you face your unresolved issues. What you fear is your teacher. That's juniper berry. Can't wait to get more of it. And we're going to wrap up today with lavender, my empress of oils. Anything that frankincense didn't do, jasmine would do. Jasmine is actually a relative of the mint family, which I think is a really cool fact. One of my favorite smells, because it is floral, but it's very deep. It's a deep floral to me. Steam distilled from the flowering tops, so not the green leaves around the lavender, the actual purple parts. It takes 3 pounds of lavender flowers to make 1 bottle of this. It's a lot. And it's very high in those linalool. Hey Cynthia, welcome Talking about my Empress. Yeah, I talk about lavender all the time. One of my top 3 oils, Copaiba, frankincense, and lavender. I talked about all 3 of those today. Let's see what else. It affects your cardiovascular, your emotional, your nervous, and your skin system. It is the universal oil. This is the easiest oil to use. Actually, all 3 of those, my frankincense and my Copaiba, there's very little room for error. All 3 of these can be taken internally. They're not photosensitive. They're not hot oils. They have very little contraindications. They don't react with anything. They're super benign and safe, but powerful, which I think is so amazing. Normally, if you think of some medicine being really powerful, you think of a lot of risks associated with it. Not with these 3 oils. I love it. Lavender is nature's antihistamine. It balances the body wherever it needs it. A drop of lavender a day is a wonderful thing to do. Internally, the tasting it is pretty intense, so adding it to a veggie cap is a good idea. Diffusing it obviously throughout the day, and even at night especially. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you all about lavender? Oh, emotionally, it's the oil of communication and calm. It helps you with verbal expression, which I sometimes need more of with these lives, because it calms the mind and it releases tension that you might be withholding something that you need to express. So slow down and get it out. That's what lavender does on an emotional level. It's fabulous for all things skin, any kind of minor scrapes, bites, any kind of wounds. It's nature's antihistamine, so any kind of like allergic reaction that you might be having, if you've gotten a bug bite and you're super itchy and red, lavender would be a really great oil for that. And then at night, it's the best nighttime oil. A few drops in the bath, a couple drops on the corner of the pillowcase, and you're off to dreamland. Those are my oils for today, y'all. Thanks for being with me. Next Monday, the 20th, I'm going to be back here at the same time, and we're going to talk about lemon through Roman chamomile. And in that session, I'm also going to talk about the Litsi and Manuka, which are on their way to me right now. I'm so excited. There's a fabulous promo right now this month. With a qualifying order, you get a bottle of Litsi and a bottle of Manuka, which are not even sold in the U.S. Normally, hey Lauren, normally those 2 oils are only sold in New Zealand and Australia, which is where the plants actually come from. So I am so excited that they're making their way to the U.S. for free. I'm so excited. Anyway, I'm going to talk about those 2 because they do fall into the alphabet that we're going to talk about next week. Hey. So join me back here 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time next Monday. We'll keep going through the alphabet of oils. Please like, comment, and share this video so other people can learn more about these amazing oils. And if you have any questions, please send me a comment or a message, carrier pigeon, smoke signal, whatever. If you have anything more specific that you want to address. Thanks again for being with me, and I'll see y'all next Monday. Happy oiling. Bye.